like it's going to be another lovely Missouri weather day. Well, as y'all can tell, this is getting emptier again. And here's part of the problem. What else can I say? The ceiling is falling out. It hasn't fallen out for a while, but we also haven't got it. But every time we get a heavy rain, now there's water, and you can see the. So what's gonna happen is I've got to put this back together this week, at least enough to where I can move it, which means I need to go air up that tire, put the push gear back in, get it all put back together, at least enough to where I can push it and push it back over there. And then I'm gonna take all this stuff down and move it over there. And we're gonna go to the new garage here in just a second. So it's not too far. We're just a couple of doors down. Yeah. Voila. So yeah, new garage. Jacob John, you're gonna get your ass whipped. I do need to move some stuff like these hooks and whatnot need moved, and might be going and getting a new frame with title for this, hardtail frame for title for this, which is cool. So I'm gonna take everything off of this, and except for maybe the front end and the wheels. Ain't decided yet. But yeah, I'm going to take a majority of the stuff off of this, release the stuff that I need, put it onto the new frame. I'll probably leave these triple trees on it and everything. But as soon as I find out if I need a title to run down the drag strip or not, because if I don't need a title to run down the drag strip, then drag bike. Because these motors I can find all the time. Complete bikes all the time. Now that dual disc front end, probably not. But I've found several sets of wheels and such, so I'm going to be picking some stuff up over the next few weeks if things work right. Got a lot of doctor's appointments this week too. So I've been sinusing forever. Update on Ty's bike though. I'm gonna pull the seat and the tank off. I'm gonna pull these extra wirings out, the ones that he don't need, and then I'm gonna hook up his auxiliary lights. And fix this bolt issue right here. But aside from that, this is pretty much gonna be wait till probably October to do. He wants to wait. Hold on a second. All right, I have returned. There's a million people messaging me. So anyways, the new garage setup will be, so I'm gonna move most of these black hooks down around here for like extension cords, air hoses, and all that. I think that's gonna stay right there. And I'm gonna probably put a board in between here. Put a couple of helmet holders on here for the moldies. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna go up top and I'm gonna put in all my Hot Wheels along the top there. Put the posters and whatnot here. Workbench, well, my 2 cabinets that I'm using as a workbench here. The third one, probably go a little further down. Because I want to get an actual workbench with, like a wood peg thing behind it. Put my carts and my stools under here. The 2 big cabinets here. I'm gonna get a third one here. And if things work out right, I'm gonna have this the spinning pegboard thing, which I wanna go pick up hopefully in the next couple of days. Skateboard. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be different. As I was saying about that, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it, but I really want to do forward controls and I want to do jock shift. So it's probably what we're going to do. I ain't quite decided on tank yet, but kind of really digging maybe the idea of the 3.5 gallon Laredo off a low brows. Like I said, I haven't decided yet. Got carb ideas, I have exhaust ideas. I do want to try and get over forks, 3 or 4 over forks for the project. Gonna change so much on this. Just gotta get her done, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get a angle grinder and a bench vise and start. Speak of the devil, there's a board right there. That would actually work. Put down a little bit, put 3 helmet holders on it. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. There's some wood fence posts over here too. Also, the next big thing I'm gonna do after I get my bike back to running is I'm gonna build the table finally. It's gonna cost me, I gotta make a couple calls to friends who have some lumber, see what they have, see if they have what I need. If they do, sweet tits. And then if not, we'll figure it out. Anyways, so that's just kind of the idea. This is the new garage. I gotta finish moving in here this weekend, start painting the stutch. But this battery's almost dead, so I gotta charge all these batteries. But I'll see you on the next part, probably tomorrow. What is up, people? Back in the garage. I have been in the hospital and out of doctor's offices for the last, week. The better half has been in and out of the hospital for the past week or so. And I meant to get everything swapped over, but health reasons can't. But I did come across the treasure on Facebook Marketplace and went picked it up today. Boom. Little 2.5, 3 gallon peanut style tank, maybe a Wassel style tank. I mean, it's a little rough, but we're gonna strip it. We're gonna repaint it. Maybe. Just that actually doesn't look that bad, honestly. Maybe I will keep it. Probably not, honestly. I bought it to paint it and sell it. But it still doesn't look too bad. I don't know. I'll have to see. But I'm gonna do some work in here. I'm gonna move this stuff around and get the bikes put up. So hang out with me while I do that. I'm I'll show you guys when I'm done. All right, so we're walking back over to the other garage so I can finish getting all that taken care of. But I think I didn't fuck up the tube this time because it's actually holding air this time, or it was just a minute ago. It's not quite sealed, but also I want to show y'all the next. I think I'm going to take the front blinkers off for now, put the old ones back on, and just leave them on for now until I get something figured out. But is it about like that? I like it, but that'll be after I get a couple of things taken care of on it. So I'm gonna go get my phone, put on some music, and get the tire put back in. Good morning, people. The next day. I can't really work a whole lot right now because of the medication I'm on for this whatever is going on. I have an infection. It's in here and in my lungs. It's not pneumonia, but I have an infection and it's really whipping my ass and killing me on being able to do things. So anyways, the bike Wednesday, the purple one, is in the other garage. We're gonna start to clean up in here and move everything. Got a few errands to run, but yeah, that's literally the next step, is to get everything out of here and into the other garage and start getting it set up and ready to rock and roll. We're also going to start the painting project today too. I'm going to start by flex sealing all the bottom of all these. So when I move all this stuff, I'm not going to put anything on top. I'm going to put these on the sawhorses. I'm going to tape them down and I'm going to flex seal them. I'm going to truck bed liner the top of these, and then after that it will be let it dry, let it all move. So we're doing like a million things at once. My bike is going to a buddy of mine. He has a small shop in Cuba, Missouri. He's gonna do, I'm tired of fucking up the tire tube. So he's ordered me a new tube. He's got me a new tire strap. So we're just doing it that way. I'm also walking over to the new garage. I'm glad it's close instead of like way the fuck at the other end of the complex. So anyways, we'll start on that. And then I'll carry out what I can, and then I gotta run some errands. It's nice and cool today, so I'll be able to get some work done. Really pisses me off because I really miss riding my bike. I mean, Ty's bike isn't bad, but I miss my bike. And even when I get a new bigger bike, I'm not getting rid of this bike. Like I am changing those bars because I want these bars for the CB750 project, which still has that tank that I went and bought yesterday. That's another thing we're gonna have to start soon, is that it's all grody and cruddy in there. Yay. Start stripping that down. But yeah. Anyways. I don't know if I've seen something new on my camera screen. Yeah. I've had some ideas. Like, I mean, obviously that seat is not, well, I mean, it would work actually, but it's too narrow, but something like this, I've thought about making something like this for it. So I might actually make a seat for that, but also, granted, that other seat is in the way, but that would work too, you know? I got some options, I got some ideas. Although I might just keep this and put this on something different, you know? Next thing I'm gonna be buying is chopper project. Is it gonna be a CV650 or an XS650? And I'm currently looking for one. Actually, I have my eye on a set of 3, but I'm waiting to get some other things and some other issues lined out before I do what I kind of want to do, which is go and maybe see about getting a loan and picking up the 3, and then because it is 3, all the titles and whatnot for one price. So thought about that. I mean, they're just several ideas. So, anyways, I'm gonna finish gathering this stuff up and gathering up what I can real quick, and then I'll come back on whenever I get the paint project going. Peace. All right, guys. I taped up the bottom of this. This is the first cabinet. It's gonna get some love. I'm gonna flex seal the bottom of it just to protect it from, you know, the elements and whatnot. So, also, the tank ain't gonna be shit to sand down, so. Fucker. So I'm probably gonna need another can of it, but that's fine. I am not super worried about it being pretty and nice, because this is the bottom, and I literally am just flex sealing the bottom of it just to protect it, you know. It should work. So And I know this video is all over the damn place, but should work, should be fine. I'm gonna tape up the other side and then I'm gonna spray the bed liner. What is up, people? It's another day. It's been a wild week. Old lady's been in and out of the hospital for the last week and a half. Well, y'all didn't get to see me do this. Well, maybe you did, I don't remember. But I've started on the painting project of the cabinets. This isn't the final color. I'm gonna have to lightly sand this and then spray in another coat. But it's just the start. I'm also gonna stain the inside of the drawers, except for the bases of them, which I'm gonna bed liner. And I'm gonna need another can of this. But there's a couple of small spices. Hold that off. All right, anyways, there are a couple of thin spots. So I need another can of that too. So 1 can of primer did the whole shebang. So at that rate, I'm gonna need 5, 6, 7 more cans. Also, I don't remember if I talked about this tank or not. I did actually. I've started sanding this tank down. It's got some weld issues right here that are gonna need to be fixed. I'm gonna have to like really hit it, you know. So, anyways, we're gonna work on Ty's bike, on Panda's bike. I'm gonna trash Panda's bike. I need to take the seat off, lift the tank up, and then he's got some extra wires. You'll notice his clutch is routed to the outside, but anyways, I'm gonna re-get his wires working and pull all this crap for the radio off, pull it out, and then I think we're gonna put the tank back on it and be done with it. And then in a couple weeks, we're gonna wrap the exhaust. But first, all right, so here's the Flex Seal drying up pretty good. It's kind of dark in here, but that's it, drying up pretty good. And then I'm not super worried about this being really nice. Like, I will go back over, and because there are some runs in it, but I will go back over it, another coat. Probably gonna put 2 coats on this, 3 tops. I'm literally putting truck bed liner on it, okay? Just so it won't damage it when I'm working on top of it. Oh, my frog tank dropped. So, that's literally why. So, let it dry for a couple hours, come back, check it out. Hopefully not get yelled at. And I gotta charge my batteries. So, I'll let you. Now that I got my toolbox there, I have my tool cart. If need be, this needs to go there. So that is for that. I was gonna get hung up like right there. Just not today. These are gonna get moved one at a time and painted and finished. Here's the one that is Kona colored. This one will be ebony colored on the inside. I'm gonna do probably a 1 inch, 2 inch, about that wide. Strip all the way around, so yeah, about 2 inches. And all the way around to about here, come down, and that'll be black. Fudge, a brain fart. Be chalkboard paint. I want to turn my book on. Then I'm turn my book on. I'm gonna back the bike up, move it around, and then start the process.
He wanted none to think they were no longer listened to. Some, like Sanguinius, Lorcan, and Fulton, had claimed Horus's election from the outset. Others, like Angron and Perturabo, had raged billions at the new order, and it had taken multiple diplomacy on the War Master's part to placate their choler and jealousy. A few, like Russ and the Lion, had been cynically resolved, unsurprised by the turn of events. But others, like Gilliman, Khan, and Dawn, had simply taken it in their stride, accepting the Emperor's decree as the right and obvious choice. Horus had ever been the brightest, the first, and the favourite. They did not doubt his fitness for the role, for none of the Primarchs had ever matched Horus's achievements, nor the incident of his bond with the Emperor. It was to these, that Horus turned in particular for counsel. Dawn and Gilliman both embodied the staunchest and most dedicated warrior qualities, commanding their legion expeditions with fearless devotion to military achievements. Horus was a young man by the essence of older, more accomplished brothers. Rogal Dawn possessed perhaps the finest military mind of all the Primarchs. It was as ordered and disciplined as the rude Gilliman's, as courageous as the Lion's, yet still supple enough to allow for flex and inspiration, the flash of battle zeal that had won the likes of Leman Russ and the Khan so many victory wreaths. Dawn's record in the crusade was second only to Horus's, but he was resolute where Horus was flamboyant, reserved where Horus was charismatic, and that was why Horus had been the obvious choice for War Master. In keeping with his patient, stony character, Dawn's legion had become renowned for siegecraft and defensive strategies. The War Master had once joked that where he could storm a fortress like no other, Rogal Dawn. If I ever laid assault to a bastion possessed by you, Horus had quipped at a recent banquet. The best in attack matched by the best in defense. The Imperial fists were an immovable object to the Lunar Wolves' unstoppable force. Dawn had been quiet, observing presence in his months with the 63rd expedition. He had spent hours at a conference with the War Master, but Logan had seen him from time to time, watching drills and studying preparations for war. Logan had not yet spoken to him, or met him directly. This was the smallest place they had both been in at the same time. He regarded him now, in calm discussion with the War Master. being manifest. Logan felt it impossible just like present, to see them talk like men in unguarded fashion. Vargas seemed a tiny form beside him. Primarch Dawn wore a case of armor that was burnished and ornate like a tomb chest. Dark hair and copper gold compared to Horus's white dazzle. Unfurled eagle wings, fashioned in metal, haloed his head and decorated his chest and shoulder blade. And Aquila's engraven laurels embossed the armor section of his limbs. A mantle of red velvet hung around his broad shoulders, trimmed in golden weave. His lean face was stern and smiling, even when the War Master raised a joke, and his hair was a shock of white, bleached like dead bones. The trooper Astartes, who had escorted him down from the gallery, came over to wait with the morning light. They were well known to Abaddon, Torgaro, and Abaddon, but Loken had only yet seen them indirectly about the flagship. Abaddon introduced them as Sigismund, first captain of the Imperial Fist, resplendent in black and white heraldry, and Aether, captain of the third company. The Astartes made the sign of the Aquila to one another in formal greeting. I approve of your direction, Sigismund told Loken at once. I'm gratified. You were watching from the galleries? Sigismund nodded. Prosecute the work. Get it over with. Get on. There is still so much to be done. We cannot afford delays or time wasting. There are so many worlds still to be brought to compliance. One day we will rest at last. Sigismund replied bluntly. The crusade will never end. Don't you know that? Loken shook his head. I wouldn't. Not ever, said Sigismund emphatically. The more we spread, the more we fly. World after world, new worlds to conquer. Space is limitless, and so is our appetite to master it. I disagree, Loken said. War will end one day. A rule of peace will be established. That is the very purpose of our efforts. Sigismund, is it? Perhaps. I believe that we have set ourselves an unending task. The nature of mankind makes it so. There will always be another goal, another prospect. Surely, brother, you can conceive of the time when all worlds have been brought into one unity of imperial rule. Isn't that the dream we strive to realize? Sigismund stared into Loken's face. Brother Loken, I have heard much about you, all of it good. I had not imagined I would discover such naivety in you. We will spend our lives fighting to secure this imperium, and then I fear we will spend the rest of our days fighting to keep it intact. There is such involving darkness amongst the stars. Even when the imperium is complete, there will be no peace. We will be obliged to fight on to preserve what we have fought to establish. Peace is a vain wish. Our crusade may one day adopt another name, but it will never truly end. In the far future, there will be only war. I think you're wrong, Loken said. How innocent you are, Sigismund laughed. And I thought the lunar wolves were supposed to be the most aggressive of us all. That's how you like the other legions to think of you, isn't it? The most feared of mankind's warrior classes. My reputation speaks for itself, sir, said Loken. As does the reputation of the Imperial Fists, Sigismund replied. Are we going to scrap it out now? Argue which legion is toughest? The answer, always, is the Wolves of Fenris, Torgan put in, because they are clinically insane. He grinned broadly, sensing the tension, and wishing to dispel it. If you're very sane legions, of course, the question becomes more complex. Primarch recruits Ultramarines make a good show, but then there are so bloody many of them. The Word Bearers, the White Scar, the Imperial Fists, oh, all have fine records. But the Lunar Wolves, the Lunar Wolves. Sigismund, in a straight fight, do you really think you'd have a hope? Honestly, your yellow ragamuffins against the best of the best. Sigismund laughed. Whatever else you sleep at. Terra Plus Assault is a paradigm that will never be tested. What brother
Sigismund isn't telling Wingardium, Torgan said.
Is that his legion is going to miss all the glory. It's to be withdrawn. He's quite miffed about it.
Tarek is being selected with the truth, Sigismund snorted. The Imperial Fists have been commanded by the Emperor to return to Terra and establish a guard around him there. We are chosen as his Praetorians. Now who's miffed, Little Wolf?
Not I, said Torgan. I'll be winning laurels in war while you grow fat and lazy minding the home fires.
You're quitting the crusade? Duncan asked. I had heard something of this. The Emperor wishes us to fortify the Palace of Terra and guard its bulwarks. This was his word at the Ulanor triumph.
We have been the best part of 2 years tying up our business so we might comply with his desires. Yes,
We're going home to Terra.
yes, we will sit out the rest of the crusade. Except that I believe there will be plenty of crusade left once we have been given leave to quit Earth, our duty done.
You won't finish this with the wolves.
The stars will have long forgotten your name when the Imperial Fists war the world again. Torgan placed his hand on the hilt of his chamber.
Are you so keen to be slapped down by me for your insolence, Sigismund? I don't know. Is he?
Rogel Dawn suddenly towered behind them.
Does Sigismund deserve a slap, Captain Torgan? Probably. In the spirit of comradeship, let it be. He bruises easily.
All of them laughed at the Primarch's words. The barest hint of a smile flickered across Rogel Dawn's lips.
Logan,
He said, gesturing. Loken followed the massive Primarch to the far corner of the chamber. Behind him, Sigismund Ifrid continued to sport with the others of the Morival, and elsewhere, Horus sat in intense conference with Malagos.
we are charged to return to the homeworld.
Dawn said, conversationally. His voice was low and astonishingly soft, like the lap of water on a distant peak. But there was a strength running through it, like the tension of a steel cable.
And who am I to question the Emperor's needs? I'm glad he recognizes the particular talents of the 7th Legion.
Dawn looked down at Loken.
Oh, I'm used to the likes of me, are you, Logan? No, Lord. I like that about you. Ezekiel and Tarek, men like them have been so long in the company of your Lord, they think nothing of it. You, however, understand that a Primarch is not like a man, or even an Astartes. I'm not talking about strength. I'm talking about the weight of responsibility. Yes, Lord.
Dawn sighed.
The Emperor has no like. Logan. There are no gods in this hollow universe to keep him company. So he made us, demigods, stand beside him. I have never quite come to terms with my status. Does that surprise you? I see what I'm capable of, and what is expected of me, and I shudder. The mere fact of me frightens me sometimes.
I do not, Lord. Self-confidence
yacht and cruise. Did you know that? Both names were considered. Cedere is a battle-hungry killer, so much like Abaddon. He would say yes to anything if it meant war glory. Cruz. You call him the half-bird, I'm told. We do, Lord. Cruz is a sicker man. He would say yes to anything if it meant he stayed faithful. The more of our needs a proper dissenting opinion.
A Naismith, Logan said. Dawn flashed a real smile.
Yes, just so. Like the old dynasties did. A Naismith. Your school is good. My brother Horus needs a voice of reason in his ear if he is to reign in his eagerness and act in the Emperor's stead. Our other brothers, some of them quite demented by the choice of Horus, need to see he is firmly in control. So, I vouch for you, Gabriel Logan. I examined your record and your character and thought you would be the right mix in the alloy of the Monagal. Don't be insulted, but there is something very human about you, Logan, for the Astartes. I fear, my lord, that my helm will no longer fit me. You have swelled my head, sir, with your compliments.
Dawn nodded.
My apologies. You spoke of responsibility. I feel that weight suddenly. Terribly. You're strong, Logan. Astartes built it. Enjoy it.
All right, so blew apart Ty's bike. Rat's nest. I was gonna clean up this wiring that is for the radio, but there's just too much of a rat's nest in here, and I'm gonna pull it apart. We're gonna pull it down to pretty much rolling chassis anyways this fall, and I'm gonna paint it. We're holding off on the paint job, so I'm just gonna put it back together and let him ride it. And then tonight or tomorrow, she's coming back apart. Getting a new freaking. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to putting this shit back together. Maybe ending this episode. I haven't decided. I might end the episode with me riding this thing. Actually, I haven't decided yet. I miss my bike. I mean, I wish I had a bigger one, but I miss my bike. I found the fender that I want. I found the front wheel that I want. The skinny front wheel, but I kind of like the fatty though. I don't know. Comment down below. Should I do a short front fender in the front? You know, or should I do something different? Let me know.
Dawn turned from the armored port and looked down at Logan. He placed his great hand gently on Logan's shoulders.
Be yourself. Just be yourself. Speak your mind plainly, or you have been granted the rare opportunity to do so. When you return to Terra confident that the crusade is in safe hands. I wonder if your faith in me is too much, Lord, Logan said. As fervent as Cedere, I have just proposed a war. I heard you speak. You made the case well. That is all part of your role now. Sometimes you must advise. Sometimes you must allow a warmaster to use you.
Use me.
You understand what Horus had you do this morning?
Dawn.
He had primed the Mournival to back him, Logan. He is cultivating the air of the peacemaker, for that plays well across the world with the Imperium. This morning, he wanted someone other than himself to suggest unleashing the legions for war. Second, stay close, please.
Yes. despite his appearance, possessed what Euphrates Keeler thought was the most beautiful speaking voice, paused and offered one last piece of advice to the group. This is also a hazardous place, a place of war. Watch yourself, and be aware of where you are. He turned and led them down the concourse with a massive blast hat. The rattle of machine tools echoed out to them. This was an area of the ship the Remembrances had never previously been allowed to visit. Most of the martial areas were off limits except by strict permission, but the embarkation deck was utterly forbidden at all times. There were 6 of them in the group. Keeler, another imagist called Simon Saab, a man called Francisco Suarez, a composer of symphonic patterns called Tomolo van Prassen, and 2 documentarists called Avrius Carnis and Borodin Flora. Carnis and Flora were already bickering quietly about themes and approaches. All of the Remembrances wore durable clothing appropriate for bad weather, and all carried kit bags. Keeler was fairly sure they'd all prepared in Belgium. The permission they hoped for would not be issued. They were lucky to get this far. She looped her own kit bag over her shoulder and settled her favourite picture unit around her neck on its strap. At the head of the party, Demon came to a halt before the 2 fully armoured lunar wolves standing watch at the hatch and showed them the group's credentials. Approved by the expert, she heard him say. In his beige robes, Demon was a fragile figure compared to the 2 armoured giants. He had to lift his head to look up at them. The Astartes studied the paperwork, made comments to one another in brief clicks of intersuit vox, and then nodded them through. The embarkation deck, and Keeler had to remind herself that this was just one embarkation deck, for the flagship possessed 6, was an immense space. A long, echoing tunnel dominated by the launch ramps and delivery trackways running its length. At the far end, half a kilometre away, open space was visible through the shimmer of the integrity field. The noise was punishing. Motorized tools hammered and ratcheted, hoists whined, loading units trundled and rattled, hatches slammed, and reactive engines whooped and flared as they were tested. There was activity everywhere. Deck crews hurrying into position, fitters and artificers making final checks and adjustments, servitors unlocking fuel lines. Munition carts hummed past in long sausage chairs. The air stank of heat, oil and exhaust fumes. 6 Stormbirds sat on the launch carriers before them. Heavy armoured delivery vehicles, they were void capable, but also honed and sleek for atmospheric work. They sat in 2 rows of 3, wings extended, like hawks waiting to be thrown to the lure. They were painted white and showed the wolf's head icon and the eye of Horus on their hulls. Known as Stormbirds, the iterator was saying as he walked them forward. The actual pattern type is Warhawk 6. Most expedition forces are now on the smaller, standard construct Underhawk pattern, examples of which you can see undercovers to our left in the Heartstrand area. But the Legion has made an effort to keep these old, heavy-duty machines in service. They have been delivering the lunar wolves into war since the start of the Great Crusade, since before that, actually. They were manufactured on Terra by the Indonesian bloc for use against the Pan-Pacific tribes during the Unification Wars. A dozen will be employed in this venture today. 6 from this deck, 6 from aft embarkation 2. Keeler raised her picture and took several quick shots of a line of Stormbirds ahead. For the last, she crouched down to get a low, impressive angle down the row of their flared wings. I set no records, Emon snapped, hurrying to her. I didn't think for a moment you were serious, Keeler responded smoothly. We've got 10 minutes. How many images? What the hell do you think I'm going to do? Emon looked flustered. He was about to say something when he noticed that Carter's and Flora were wandering astray, lost in some petty squabble. Stay with the room, Emon cried out, hurrying to shepherd back. Get anything good? Sark asked Keeler. Please, it's me, she replied. He laughed and took out a picture of his own from his rucksack. I didn't have the balls. Are you all right? What the hell are we doing here? It's not our job. He took a few shots. Keeler liked Sark. He was good company and had a decent track record of work on Terra. She doubted he would get right here. His eye for composition was fine when it came to faces, but this was very much her thing. Both the documentaries had now cornered Ivan and were grilling him with questions that he struggled to answer. Keeler wondered where Mercilessly Oliver had got to. Competition amongst the remembrances for these 6 places had been fierce, and Mercilessly had won a slot thanks to Keeler's good word and, it was said, approval from someone high up in the Legion. But she had failed to show up in time that morning, and her place had been taken at the last minute by Borrowed and Flora. Ignoring the iterator's instructions, she moved away from the group and chased images with her picnic. The Lunar Wolf emblem stenciled on an erect braking flap. 2 servitors glistened with lubricant as they struggled to fix a faulty beam. Death Group, panting, wiping sweat from their brows, beside a munition trolley they had just loaded. The bare metal snout of another wing cannon. Are you trying to get me replaced? Emon asked. I really must ask you to keep in line, madam, he said. I know you're in favour, but there is a limit. After that business on the surface. What business? She asked. A couple of days ago, surely you heard. No. Some remembrancer gave his mind as the slip during a surface visit and got into a deal of trouble. Quite a scandal. It's annoyed by the house. The bribery is remembered to prevent the remembrancer continuing being suspended from activity. Was it that bad? I don't know the details, please. Only stay in line. You have a very lovely voice, Keeler said. You can ask me to do anything. Of course I will. Emon laughed. Let's continue with the visit. As he turned, she took another pic, capturing the scruffy iterator, head down, against the backdrop of bustling crew and threatening cheer. Iterator, she called, have you been granted permission to go back to the drop? I don't believe so, he said sadly. I'm sorry. I thought I told you. A fanfare boomed out across the vast deck. Keeler heard and felt a beat like a heavy drum, like a warhammer striking again and again with its metal. Come to one side. Now, to one side, Emon called, trying to gather the group on the edge of the deck space. The drumming grew closer and louder. His feet marching across deck. 300 Astartes, in full armor and marching perfectly in step, advanced onto the embarkation deck.
Alright guys, I got it back together. I'm taking it around the block, make sure everything's good. And then I'm gonna go inside and spend some time with the family. Take a shower and whatnot. So, I'll see y'all on the next portion, which should be taking the rear tire back off of that one. Taking my plate off of that one, putting it on that one. And then, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, fingers crossed, taking this thing apart, putting a new frame under it, on the motor on a new frame, along with the front end, the wheels, and the tires. I am currently looking for some 4-over forks and saving up for a triple tree top clamp change to allow me to put like normal risers and whatnot in it. And then we're gonna go from there. But anyways, peace. Well guys, it's yet another night. It's Father's Day actually, and I am top dad. Anyways, oh shit, you really can't see it. I really gotta get my lights in here. Okay. So, tires off again. I feel horrible for doing this and it's a little off balance, so it's gonna sit like that until I get the tire. Anyways, tires off, and it is at my buddy's shop getting a new tube in it. I pick it up Friday. We're just off camera. I'm gonna put it back on, and I'm gonna put the headlight back on, and I'm gonna tighten down the blinkers and get it just where I can ride it again. I need to do some testing with the new light, and just figure some stuff out. And then I need to build a bracket for the new light, or order one. I got some chemical stripper coming. It should be here tomorrow, next day. I'm gonna finish stripping this, strip this way the fuck down, get all that off, and then just re-straighten this piece out, weld it back on, re-bondo this, make it all pretty, and bondo anything else that needs bondoed. So it looks like there's some bondo up here and up here. I might be wrong, but it looks like it. So re-bondo it, and then I'm gonna primer it, get the primer good, and then good and flush, and then I'm gonna spray probably satin white on it, and then comes the fun part, and I'm gonna leave that a mystery for now. Once some things get figured out over the next few weeks, hopefully by the end of next month, I can buy the new frame for the CB. I know, right, but, and I can get the lights and everything that I want and need from in here. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate it. I'll holler at you later. What is up, people? It's humid today. It just poured rain too. Remember what I did with all my rags. Get the tire back on the Vulcan tomorrow, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be ready for the road tomorrow. Oh God. No, I don't want to use the microfiber. Okay, this will work. Okay. So finally got that in the mail. That's gonna go on to this. I'm gonna strip as much as we can off. I took as far as I could, but I'm just like, man, I'm using more, that's what I'm looking for. I'm using more sandpaper than I'm taking off the paint. So, my glove up. You know what they say, no glove, no love. And then we're gonna put some on that tank and see what we get. All right, here we go. Maybe I'll put my roller, grab my roller. 2-minute removal, so we'll see. Man, I already see it bubbling up nice and good in places, so oh yeah. Oh yeah. Be back. Whew, we guys. Alright, so you can see there where it's starting to eat it up pretty good. We're gonna let it sit a couple of hours and just let it sit, let it work, let it do its thing. It's eating a lot on this side. Put it on pretty thick, so hopefully it'll eat through pretty good. There really was no instructions on this. Fast acting, paints and epoxies, cleans and finishes. Yeah. So anyways, but I'm glad I got this big old container of it, because I'm gonna do probably 3 more tanks by the end of summer, 4. Yeah, it's working pretty good actually. So yeah, we'll let it do its thing for a couple hours and come and check on it after dinner and see how it's doing. And I don't know if I'm gonna end this video today, if I'm gonna end this video tomorrow with me riding this thing. Probably riding this thing tomorrow, if I get it done tomorrow. We'll see. Whatever is going on with me is really taking a toll on me, so we'll just see how I feel tomorrow. But I'll be back in a bit. If not, we'll see you tomorrow for sure. All right, peace out. What's up? Well, we have a new addition to the shop. Booyah! Big metal cabinet. This is gonna be so. Oh, there was a bunch of funny stuck to it. So good for the garage and the shop. So tape and sanding stuff. Just kind of put this in here because it was just kind of a place to go. Actually, I think this is gonna go probably in here. Fluids and whatnot. Probably go on that floor. Paints. It's the gay boy. My wife is calling. The wife is calling.
I'm being yelled at.
Why?
Being down here.
Huh?
And I'm being yelled at for you being down here, so get your ass back up there.
Look, I was talking to the camera.
I mean, I get it. But I don't want you working.
I'm not working.
That is working.
What?
That is your style of working.
Shh. I'm talking to the camera. Nobody has to know. Anyways, I was giving an update. Like, this is still sitting, and he can attest. I've been in and out of the hospital and doctor's office visits since last week.
And the wife.
Yeah, and the wife has another one tomorrow. So this thing is still sitting like this, and I think when Grandma's here tomorrow, I'm gonna get that back tire on.
Yeah,
and put
that's
the
why
other.
you're being summoned.
Why? My grandmother's calling?
Your grandma's on the phone.
Oh.
She just asked if I work tonight, and now wants you.
Okay. One last thing. This tank is here. I'm gonna see if I can get it into a sandblasting cabinet, and I'm gonna finish sandblasting it. I'm gonna clean this up, this weld up, fix this, and then we're gonna soak the inside in vinegar and water, and reseal it and repaint it. And there's about to be some really cool things that are happening, because Grandma's now getting involved in the business. So, just have to wait and see. All right. Good morning, guys. kids. Look at this. Fucking kids, man, I swear. Gotta love them though. Anyways, we're gonna put this onto this, but first I gotta get that onto that. So bear with me. I'm not gonna put it on camera because I just want to get it done and done quickly. I'm having a hard time today. I'm actually losing my job. Actually, I've lost my job. Let's not even bullshit it. I've lost my job because of some health issues and I can't get them sorted out. Too many doctor's appointments and yeah, not thrilled about it, but it is what it is, unfortunately. That's how I have to be about it. I'm gonna get some of this stuff up there too, some of that stuff. But I mean, it's coming along nice. I don't know if y'all can, well, that's a little bright. Hold on a second. Glass display case, which is gonna go about right here. I'm gonna work on that a little bit today too. It's gonna be a good day. Probably not all at once, but at least need to get the tire in and ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna hop off this. I ain't gonna film it like I said, because this video is already way too fucking long. All right, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, correction. I'll be back right now. Oh, I did get a new toolbox. This is a gift from the girlfriend, fiance, the love of my life. And things are being worked on. I don't want to say too much and jinx it, so I'll be back. Well, she's on the ground. She's got her own, you know. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is these freaking blinkers now, because I fucked up and I dropped this one and it broke. So now I'm trying to figure out how to take 2 wires to 3 wires. I think I need an interrupter is what it's called. These are all backwards. I think that's what it's called. I need an interrupter. So I'm gonna make a couple calls and make sure that's what it's called. But I think it's called an interrupter relay. It's where I can, you know, take 2 down to 1, so it's on, but then it'll blink when it needs to be. So, garage changed again. I have a glass display case. This tank is almost ready for high fill primer. And a little bit of smoothing over to do. I need to fix that still. But aside from that, that's ready. This thing's got to go upstairs because this does not belong down here. But it can go over here for now. Out of my way. I guess the ground's just that uneven. Anyways. So yeah. Remove the sawhorse. Make a quick spray on that wood shelf, which goes in the open wood cabinet over there. And then got some other errands I gotta run today. So gotta go run some errands. Okay. Let's see here. I know y'all are looking at that. Oh, it does fit. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I think this is exactly where I'm gonna end this video. I don't know, I've probably said it like 3 times, but this thing's getting long, and I need to end it here. So, probably next video I'll be riding this sucker. And and hopefully some of this, the garage will be in a little bit better condition. So peace out. Happy 4th of July. This probably won't come out till after. So peace out. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250 America. Peace.